Moving right along into the final segment of today's show. Uh, Gen Z Republicans, man, they're going to give you a run for their money. I mean, Gen Z, say what you want about some of the silly things they believe or whatever. A lot of us millennials are lazy shits, and they're much more productive and stuff than we are. Not that they're as productive as we probably should be as a species or a society, but it is what it is. Let's just get into this article on CNN Politics, right? So you got young Republicans might not be marching in the streets, but they are mobilizing. Gen Z Republicans express optimism ahead of the midterms. Washington, D.C., CNN. Carl Matthews is a climate activist. She's also a Republican. The 24-year-old Pennsylvanian who serves as the communications director for the American Conservatives Coalition, a conservative environmental group, often gets pushback from both Democrats and Republicans who say her beliefs are contradictory, and they're not. It's the we do have a climate issue that we can protect the environment and stuff, but you could do that without believing in all the stupid shit that the Democrats push. But it is what it is. At this point in my life, I kind of laugh off criticism, like Matthew told CNN, adding that she received similar feedback in college for being young and conservative, if the two mutually exclusive. I mean, it's you get laughed at probably because of that age old saying, and I'm not sure who says it or whatever, or where the origins are, but if you're young and you're not liberal, you have no heart, and if you're old and not conservative, you have no brain. But it is what it is. I mean that's the world we live in today, right? Caring about the climate change and being conservative and believing in small government are comparable. Incompatible, she said. Matthews is representative of the young conservatives who come of age in a time marked by one crisis after another, from 9/11 to the 2008 financial collapse, school shootings, climate change, and COVID-19. Youth activism on these issues, both in the streets and online, gives the impression that this generation is exceptionally liberal, and young Americans ages 18 to 29 do lean to the left. Only 36% voted for former President Donald Trump in 2020, according to CNN's exit polls. Yeah, and I'm so sure glad we don't have any mean tweets right now, right? So fucking glad we have no mean tweets. And we can pay so much in gases, and we're on the verge of fucking global war and all this other crap. Yet there are a number of young voters who are limited government and fiscal conservatism, but didn't align with Trump and his policies. Now, frustrated by record high gas prices, grocery prices, and Russia invasion in Ukraine, conservatives believe that both Trump voters and non Trump voters alike will rally around these core issues, including electoral success for Republicans in the 2020 midterms. And it's looking like a red wave. So, I mean, I, I don't think I hope we can primary out the establishment garbage, because there's garbage on both sides, but anything's better than what we got right now. Young Americans are being left behind in Biden's America. We're facing skyrocketing prices, Biden's gas hike, and we've lost precious time in the classroom that we can't get back. Meanwhile, states with Republican leadership have led the way in economic recovery and getting students back in school and young Americans back to work. RNC Deputy Press Secretary Will O'Grady told CNN in the statement that RNC has been on the ground since the last cycle, engaging and recruiting in our next generation of conservative voters who value freedom, opportunity, and love for our country. The RNC said that ahead of 2022, it continues to build out its network with young Americans, is recruiting campus team leaders as part of its Campus Team Leader Initiative, a young engagement program which started part of the Trump Victory Fund. I mean, getting fucking conservatives in college is probably a good start. Can we get to the point again where we can have like conversations on college where Ben Shapiro can speak and Zimzer can speak, and you can choose to listen to Zimzer or you can choose to listen to Ben Shapiro, and then you can go hang out with your friend Zizer, and you can have a drink and you can be merry and not try to murder each other because one wanted to listen to Ben Shapiro and one wanted to listen to Caesar. Like, I can we just be free? I'm just, I don't know. Maybe that's some radical idea, but it is what it is, right? One of the largest groups of young Republicans, the College Republican Organization, told CNN it has beefed up its volunteer strike force which ahead of the midterms will focus on making phone calls and knocking on doors for GOP candidates. On the right, we're really motivated right now because we're fed up and want change. Courtney Bright, the 25-year-old chairman of college Republicans, told CNN, the youth vote is the middle is leaning our way right now because they see things Democrats promised them are not coming to fruition. Maybe it's time to give the Republican policies a try. I mean, I don't think all of the Republican policies are better either, but it's like a lot of them are, like the border control, uh, let me have my guns, freedom of religion. These things are like essential to being American. They are essential to who we are as a fucking people. A chance to go up to win back the modern Americans. Like midterm elections usually don't bode well for the party in power, and in 2022 may be no different. It presents an opportunity for the Republican Party to win back some young conservatives voters who either withheld from voting from president or voted Joe Biden. Voting Joe Biden. It's like, get that off me. I don't want that juju near me. Since taking office, Biden's approval rating has declined among young voters and who won support. I can't even speak right now. I'm going to take a second to collect myself and we'll finish. Well, I had to pause it, and that took longer than I want because my dog was being a bitch. But, I mean, she is a bitch, so what can you do, right? According to the poll, those younger than 45 make up 60% of the voters who say that they cast a ballot for Biden in 2020 and don't approve of the job he is doing. That's 60%. And there are only 33% of voters who say they voted for Biden and approve of him. I don't know how you can still approve of that man after everything that's happened. This government is a complete and utter failure. I'm not saying the last one was we could do better, but it was much better than the last things that we've had in like 50 years or so, at least as long as I've been alive. We got to start building our own shit and putting ourselves first because I'm done giving up my freedoms for fucking global fuckery. And if fucking Republicans are my only way out of fucking giving up my freedoms for global fuckery, then it is what it is. I'm just fucking saying. Thank you for checking out this clip of my Thought of the Day podcast. You can catch this podcast every Tuesday through Friday at that'sonpoint.info by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because that's how winning is done. New clips go out daily, and we can't do this without you. So we appreciate your support. With that being said, consider joining for $5 a month. And you get early access to the uncensored version of this, early access to our weekly That's On Point podcast, and access to exclusive content only for members. All the money that we receive is going to go funnel back into this to hire more journalists and do more things for you guys because that's how winning is done. It really is. We got a merch store and stuff. You can help there, and if you can't help via money, you can always just leave a comment, and share this out there because that helps us more than you can immensely know. That's the best way to help. Just leave a comment, and share. And if you're listening to us, leave a review. Leave a good review. Help us boost us in the podcast ratings and get us up there because that's how winning is done. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.